Market's not looking good. And if you're watching this video right now, you're probably pretty down. You're probably a little bit alarmed. You might be thinking, are we in a bear market? Is it time to sell? In this video, I want to give you some clarity, some context to what we're looking at right here, and tell you straight up, no, you probably shouldn't sell, and it's unlikely we're in a bear market or that we're going to go that much lower. And look, guys, every one of these few videos, I have to do a little bit of a what I like to call a come to Jesus video. Right? This is where I sit down and just get real with you, sunglasses off. Most woke, empty house business, crypto fat, you know the title, put to the side. Because just like at the top of the market where I had to come to Jesus video saying we're getting a little bit too drunk, we're getting a little bit too bearish right here. At least that's what I think is going on. See, look, you have to understand, people are very upset right now. Why are they very upset? It's because they want the Thanksgiving dinner. Whipped out their Coinbase account and said, look, everyone, your son/daughter is so damn smart. Look how much money I'm making in crypto. I am early to this wave. I am a visionary and I'm a savant at trading crypto. And now a lot of people are upset because they're having to stock up on firearms and new locks for their houses because their family is not too happy with the investment advice they got at Thanksgiving. In fact, Granny is literally just a crater right now. You ever see the end of Gremlins where the Gremlins just explode and melt at the end of it? That's what's left of Granny after she checked her Coinbase account and saw just how much money she lost. Just popped. Spontaneous combustion. And a lot of people know that when they go to Christmas dinner, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pleasant. And everyone knows the only person they're going to be able to sit with at dinner is that weird, creepy uncle that smells weird. And why can they sit with him? Because he's a delusional Cardano holder and he's just unaffected by losing all of his money. So that's why people are upset. They know Xmas dinner is just going to be them sitting in the corner with creepy uncle as he tries to show them pictures of his wife and her boyfriend at Disney World. It's going to be a terrible, terrible Xmas, and frankly, everybody earned this. That being said, guys, there is hope, and I think people are being a little bit overly bearish, and I want to tell you why. In order to do that, we need to look at the market. As always, follow me on Twitter at ZSSBecker, because project I'm getting into and the things I'm about to start investing in as the market goes a little bit lower, the early projects, the things that are going to get the big gains, I only really talk about them on Twitter first because it's a little bit too crazy if we do it in these videos. So let's talk about the market. All right, guys, so let's talk about the market right now. Where it's going, what should we be doing? Now, of course, guys, you can do whatever you want, okay? I think selling right now, it would be a terrible mistake, and I really don't think we're going into bear market. And I'll talk about why here in a second. And frankly, I'm not even slightly nervous about this. And I'm the first person to get on Twitter and post bear memes. I love making fun of moon boys. You have to understand, it's one of my favorite things to do is make people extremely upset about how much money they lose. I'm not doing that right now because I know in like 2-3 weeks, a month from now, people are going to be tagging me and reverse slapping me because we're not going into a bear market. So I want to cover what the market's doing real quick and what I'm doing, because as you guys know, I don't really trade in Bitcoin and Ethereum and these top coins. I trade microcaps and lower cap coins. I exited the market through November to December 4th. I even told you to, hey, look, we're getting a little bit overheated. And so I took my profits and I'm really looking for a clean reset. Though I did hold all my top 100 coins, AVAX, Solana, Moonriver, Remark, Polygon, Luna. I'm still holding on to those, but primarily where most of my trading activity is outside of the top 100 in the microcaps, which I'm not doing anything with right now, and I'll tell you why. There is going to be a chance to make a ton of money in microcaps coming up, regardless if we go bear or not. So you need to know all these things. So first things first, what's going on in the market right now? So look, unlike every other influencer, I'm not going to pull out some charts or some wind readings or the temperature of penguin New York City to prove my points. Everybody has all these conspiracy theories. The whales are trying to get your money. One big blah, blah, blah. It's nonsense, okay? A lot of people, they try and explain this market with their religious stories about what's happening in the world. And it's just nonsense, okay? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows, despite their TA charts, what's going to happen right here. I'm just going to tell you what I feel is happening. And I'm not going off of anything else other than what I've seen crypto do before and what I've seen crypto doing right now and how the world is trending. So what's happening right now? All right, so we hit this big low right here in May. And what happened at this point right here? We had this big rebound and we didn't see any downside for literally forever. It was just going up. There's no way to lose money in this market. And everyone and their dog, you can see it here at the beginning of this year or even last year, there were plenty of dips along the way. Okay, there were plenty of dips along the way. Dip, 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 dip. Okay, so there's constantly money being flushed out of the market. We really didn't get that. Okay, people just went absolutely nuts. No one had any respect for the market. No one had any respect for anything. And so most people were buying like right here. Okay, so the people that bought right here, they're taking their profits. All these people right here are fleeing the market and panic selling out of it because these were all newbies. They all got in and were spending absurd amounts on things they shouldn't be doing, and they don't understand what they're buying. It's just nonsense. Okay, so also to make a case right here, I don't trade in Bitcoin. I'm just using Bitcoin as a representation of the entire market. So what we're seeing right now is a cool off period. Now this is a little bit more of a substantial dip than we usually see. Okay, but my logic is right here is that this dip right here is actually way scarier because there's really no reason for the market to come back except the ETF coming. Okay, I was not expecting the market to really come back right here. I thought we were just going to go into a very slow bear. Okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how I made a lot of money even though I misread this dip right here. I made more money the last cycle that we just went on because I'm a little bit smarter than I was during this cycle right here. That being said, I wasn't expecting to come back right here because there's really no reason to keep buying in the Bitcoin right here. Okay, during this time period right here, we've seen massive amounts of inflation, massive amounts of money printing, massive amounts of lockdowns, and all sorts of stuff happening that is just destroying the dollar and our ability to store value. It's out of control. Okay, this was not really going on right here. It's super going on right here. So in my opinion right now, I'm pretty damn bullish because I don't see any reason for this market to stop logically. The dollar's on fire. If I have $10,000 and I'm keeping in the dollar, by next year it's going to be worth $7,000, maybe even $5,000 the way inflation's going right now. You can't keep your money in the dollar. That also being said, crypto is by far the most easily accessible investment vehicle there is. Most people can't buy houses. They don't really know how stocks work. Crypto's, yeah, I would say most people debate with me on this, but crypto provides the fastest gains. It's most easily accessible. It's just designed for normal people. Crypto is being a mass adopted mainstream. We have stadiums. We have every big brand. We have banks adopting it. We have the U.S. government that's given it a big, not a big thumbs up, but they've said we're not going to do anything about it. And we're also seeing NFTs being mass adopted. We're seeing crypto gaming being picked up in the mainstream. There's nothing really to stop this market other than stupid people who bought and don't know how to, don't know what they were doing and don't know what they're looking at right now selling. And that's what's happening right now. This wasn't happening right here. The world wasn't on absolute fire right here. It is pretty much on fire right now. And we weren't also seeing mass adoption right here. We're just seeing Elon Musk talking around Saturday Night Live. We're seeing like big old, juicy, chunky, bust through your door, pull down its pants, bend over, and crap all over your doorstep adoption. You can't get away from it. All right? So that's why I'm just really not, I'm just not buying all this bear market nonsense on Twitter. And you have to understand when people are panicking and selling, they turn into bears to reinforce the fact that they just sold to make themselves feel better about it. A lot of people are selling, a lot of people are spazzing out. That's what you're seeing. So you need to understand, if you're new to crypto, Bitcoin's going to do this. Okay, there's multiple, on the way up in this big bull run here, there's multiple 30%. Some, I believe there was even closer to 40% dips sometime on the way up. It's really nothing new. And what you really want to look for, again, is we really haven't had, if we're going for this blow off top right here, we really haven't had it yet. Okay, so why should you not sell right now? And so I'm not going to tell you, if you were looking at this top right here and the rest of crypto, especially microcaps, yeah, you should have sold. Okay, I was telling you we're overheated, and I was saying you should be dollar cost averaging out of the market. I was heavily dollar cost averaging out of the market November to December 4th. But that's also because I deal, again, in microcaps. You want to sell those things when they're high regardless. Okay, this isn't Bitcoin where you can just hold it forever like some people want to do. I personally don't subscribe to that, but if you want to do that, I don't have time in this video to make fun of you. But the reason why selling is stupid right now is this. All right, if you look at most coins, we're about 30 to 40% from their all-time highs. Okay, about 30%, maybe 20-ish% in Bitcoin. I'm not going to do math in front of you because I want you to still think I'm intelligent on this channel. That being said, we are down a lot. And if you haven't sold yet, there's really no reason to sell now because we're probably going to reclaim these all-time highs. And the bottom that we're going to see, if this is not the bottom right now, the bottom is probably going to be somewhere between $42,000 and $46,000. Okay? It's somewhere around that range. Could we go lower? Yeah. But again, there's so much fundamental things with the macro environment that is pushing crypto higher in all assets, really. And so even if we do go into a bear market, we're going to see Bitcoin maybe go down to like 30,000, 25,000. Okay? there is such a strong chance that we see a big uprise from here that I just don't think there's any point to selling. You might as well just lock in and hold and go and enjoy Christmas right now. That's what I'm trying to say right here. I'm not trying to tell you you shouldn't have sold up here. I'm trying to tell you that there's really no point. You've taken the L. You've taken the L. So it's time, if you have money in these top 100 cryptos right here, you know, it's time for you to sit back and just wait for it. You don't have to do anything. And if you're in a lot of micro caps right now and you didn't sell, you didn't take profits, this is a reminder to you of what the reality of micro cap trading is. Micro caps are not some friendly, you can hold and it will come back kind of thing. It is aggressive trading style that you have to be super proactive about. So if you got into this brand new, you're 2-3 months in this, and you were buying up micro caps, now it's time to pay the consequences for being a little bit too arrogant. And now, when you get back into the market again, don't do the same thing, okay? Back when Bitcoin was doing this stuff back here, I got super in the micro caps. I was super confident in what I was doing. I got all these micro caps. I wrote them all the way up, and then I wrote them all the way down, or at least a lot of them. Okay, I got out maybe half and profit. I did not make that mistake this time because of the pain that I felt right here. If you did that this time, learn your lesson. Okay, don't get over invested in these things, and don't invest in things if you don't understand how they move and behave. That being said, if you're super down right now after that little lecture, I'm not telling you to go to the spa and rub yourself in butter and relax. You made a great choice. But I am going to tell you that you probably are going to get a second chance. You might not. But what I see happening right here is everybody gets pushed out of the market. That's a nonsense poo-poo head. People take their money for taxes and whatever is coming up right here. And we're just going to see the same exact thing we saw at the beginning of the year. All right? There's nothing, again, to slow this market down. It's just I think we're going to see a nice big old rise. And I think we're going to see $75,000, $85,000 Bitcoin, maybe even 100K. But what we're also probably going to see is we're going to see all the gaming coins probably make a comeback as well. All right, so what should we be doing right now, primarily? Now that we know what we're looking at in the market. If we're looking at top 100 coins, you might as well just hold. Now, we've been a bit of degenerates and we trade micro caps, okay, like me, here's what you need to do. One of the best things you can do or learn in crypto is it's not always about making money. There are times in the market where you just sit on your hands and wait. And so what you need to understand, if you're looking at altcoins or micro caps or even smaller cap coins, not the tiny dirtbag ones that I like to trade in, but maybe just even average coins with 500 million to $1 billion market caps, what's going to happen and why this trading I think is actually easier than trading Bitcoin is Bitcoin always leads the way. So there's no indicator of what it's going to do next. That's why I don't really try to call Bitcoin. It's just a hit or miss piece of shit. All right, you never know what this dude's going to do. 1 second, it's a good store of value. The next thing you know, it's running around a neighborhood drunk at 2 a.m. people's mailboxes. You never know what Bitcoin's going to do. That's why I don't keep that mother in my house. It sits out on the lawn. I haven't dealt with this crazy little in a long time. So that being said, Bitcoin is going to rebound though. And when you see the rebounds, it is pretty obvious when that happens. Okay. And what you want to do is you can also mitigate your risk because we can hop onto these rebounds. And if they do fall apart, where we get in at is not going to be much lower than where we are now. So we're probably not going to lose that much money. So what I do is when there's this big dip right here. All right. I was super bearish right here. I'll confess. The second I saw this rebound bounce right here, what I did is I said, all right, look, one, look, if you did all this stuff right here, you only got a 2x in Bitcoin. That's stupid in crypto. Like, all right, that's like doing drugs, doing heroin, and the rewards you get is like a mild cigarette buzz. Look, if I'm going to get in crypto, I want to get high. I want to forget my name and float off in the space. This is not the ROI I'm looking for right here. That being said, when this started to happen right here, what I did immediately is my big thesis was gaming crypto is going to inhale the world. I still strongly believe we're going to a multi-trillion-dollar market cap in this market. We're just extremely early in gaming crypto. Okay? That's why I'm building it and whatnot. That being said, first thing I did is I went and started looking at good projects. So a really good example, I'm not telling you to buy Seedify right now. Okay? I'm not telling you to buy any microcaps right now. I'm telling you to sit on your hands. But what happens when Bitcoin starts to take off, you can see, yeah, this started to bounce too. So Bitcoin started bouncing around the 22nd. Okay, microcaps kind of took off a little bit and people are waiting for a confirmation. This is when you want to start buying in the microcaps because you can see boom, boom, then they have their big run-ups after Bitcoin. So you can almost safely, this is the crypto version of safely. Buy these micro caps after Bitcoin pumps and be ready for them when they do this. So if Bitcoin goes up and then starts to take another dump, maybe it's a false breakout. Well, okay, we could just sell the micro caps and we'll get this little bump right here, this little buffer. Okay, this is actually a pretty big bump. It's like a 2-3x. We could just sell that real quick. Okay, and we'll either be at break even or just a slight loss. But if Bitcoin doesn't stop breaking out, they're going to do this again. Okay, people are going to go absolutely nuts. We see $100,000, $150,000 Bitcoin. People are going to sell their children and be willing to get a tattoo of their favorite altcoin on their face. People get insanely stupid. You might have just witnessed that. People get so drunk, it's embarrassing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for that confirmation. Again, just to show you this kind of extreme pattern again. Here's when Bitcoin started breaking out, okay? And then here's what happened at the end of the Bitcoin breakout. Bam, sandbox this right here. You're going to see this pattern with all sorts of microcaps. I like doing it in gaming crypto because I know what I'm actually buying as well. If you're an expert in DeFi or whatever, by all means. Again, just one last little trend here with Ultra to show you this. We got 722 right here. When it started to break out, we see the little hump and then bam. All right, this will happen again in microcaps. And so the best thing to do right now is to wait for these to... And so the best thing to do right now is you don't need to be buying anything really right now. Just wait for Bitcoin to sink or find its bottom. When we see that strong breakout and people start getting slightly drunk again, euphoric, come on down to the microcaps. Buy up the microcaps then. And so the cool thing about this is we're probably going to see them at really stupid lows. Okay, so for example, we go look at like Vulcan Forge right here. It's a little bit low because there's a hack right now, but all these games were at insane, stupid lows. Let's find one with a little bit more history. If we go look at Ultra, for example, right here, just took an absolute dive in May with the rest of the market, okay, and really didn't recover much until Bitcoin started up its run up. If we go look at Engine, a little bit easier of an example, more consistent behavior. Again, came in, took a massive dump, and then had its big run up after Bitcoin. You can see here's when Bitcoin started to pump right here. We saw a little bit of a bump in it, but then we started to see the big bumps in these coins. Okay, so that's what you need to be doing right now. To sum it up, guys, one, we could be going bear. We could be going bear. There's no way to guarantee that we're not. The way the world is trending right now in the macro environment for assets like crypto, I just don't see it. I just literally don't see it. And I wouldn't be confident in declaring a bear market right now, even though I love making fun of people for losing all their money. Again, I love it. It's so much fun. This isn't the case. I'm not going to do that. I think it's going to reverse right here. The macro is just really good. And the big takeaway right now, if you haven't sold, you didn't sell at the top, you might as well just hold if you're in top 25 coins. If you didn't sell your micro caps or lower altcoins, now you know how they behave. You're not going to make that same mistake again, hopefully. If you make that mistake twice, you shouldn't be doing crypto. Finally, you need to be sitting on your hands. I'm not buying anything. I'm not aggressively trying to force anything. I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to play out what it's going to do. As soon as it does, that's when I'm going to be hopping back in. We hop into bear. I'm just going to be looking for that bounce or that big capitulation. And that's probably when I'm going to be hopping in. But again, you have a little bit of a delay after Bitcoin starts to pump. We're going to start seeing it go up, and then maybe about a week, 2 weeks later, you start seeing the microcaps go up. That's where I like to make the money in, microcaps. You never make money in Bitcoin. You only make, just goes up and down. If you held this dude since the beginning of the year, you're up like 50%. That's not worth the time and stress and energy for me. That's why I like to get in and out of microcaps, which I'm going to make a video about and how to trade those next video. So that being said, guys, that's where things going on in the market. I think people are being overly bearish. If you want to see stuff that I think way earlier, coins, projects, etc., that I'm getting into, updates, giveaways, yada yada, follow me at ZSS Becker on Twitter. I got nothing else.